Hello and welcome to a final evening here of some Overwatch League, not Overwatch League, Overwatch CS. There we go. Oh, we're doing Overwatch League, surprise. Overwatch Champion Series. I'm Hot Dog, joined by Plank. How are you doing, buddy?
I am doing stellar tonight here, Hot Dog. I think we've got an absolute banger lined up for our last match of the night. And you mentioned Overwatch League, which, you know, whatever that may be, a lot of the names on the screen currently are probably familiar to people who watched Overwatch League. I mean, these are two of the top teams in NA. We are in for a banger.
I think that was probably it. I saw some of the names. I was just like, wait a minute. I know a few of those names. But yeah, absolutely. So M80, Timeless, two of the top teams that have been going through this these rounds of matches. We've got a Swiss tournament going on. So very excited again that we have this going on. Hawk versus Riker should be an exciting matchup between these two tanks, honestly. Like that alone, I'm kind of pumped about.
Oh, definitely. And we're just going right into here. Obviously, M80 as well just recently had a couple lineup switch ups. They recently, instead of Hydron, now have Happy on board, who I assume is on Sojourn currently. As we're right into it on Oasis for our first map here. Both teams rolling out on this Orisa comp we've seen so much of lately.
Absolutely. Throwing in some damage here, just trying to poke each other down, looking for some way to get in. Rocket here, looking for a way to challenge their Tracer, forced back here. And now just trying to find a way onto this point, pumping in some healing. It seems like a little bit of a slow start, I'd say, as they look again. Oh, here we go, finally, an actual bit of action here. Take on take action, pushing in, trying again, find some sort of way. Rocket finds the first pick, that's gonna have to do it here. And finally, Timeless might have been able to get that first attack here. And they do finally flip the point in their favor.
Yeah, Timeless able to kind of play that fight a little bit slower by taking mini room first. They're able to kind of come at their terms, giving M80 a little bit of room onto the point and then absolutely punishing them for it after that first pick comes in. And now, posturing a little bit further back, they've got the percentage ticker going up, but now M80 have to make the first move and get in on this point.
And that's the thing, you know, if you get one mistake, you got to absolutely capitalize on the mistake. And Chopper finding, the other Sojourn, that's going to be one. And now M80 forced to walk back, and just as quickly as that fight started, it is ending in 26% so far in favor for Timeless.
And losing your Sojourn early is really, really hard in this case. Hawk is still going to move forward here, but they just don't have that same one-shot potential outside of saving from maybe the Kiriko, you'd assume. Pelican here as well, I think maybe looking for another off angle, but in the meantime, Happy is back trying to farm that rail charge off the Orisa as Timeless kind of forced off point here.
Hawk walking in, and now Sojourn throws in, actually both Sojourns throwing in their ultimates. Now just a sea of bullets. We're playing a bullet hell game now. Hawk forced back, half health, and now M80 throwing in a great pulse bomb, finds Hawk, but now Sojourn on the other team able to equalize. Chopper has been sent out, Timeless, short one of their DPS. Now they're going to throw in an ultimate here, and M80, they did flip it over for a second, but Timeless able to flip it back, and now they're going to say, hey, no, M80, this is our point. We're going to get some time, but I keep going back to my word.
Yeah, you just called in Timeless are right back on point already, but they just stopped just short of the cap.
I mean, that's what you want to have happen. A Soundbarrier thrown in, Liar just absolutely being the hero they need. Hawk half health. They is all so close. That Terra Surge just trying to put in, and it's picked off. Chopper, a great job. That's 2 picks right now. Pelican sent back to spawn as well with that tank. I mean, hey, that'll do it, I think. Still going up for M80, and there you go. Timeless gets the flip.
Yeah, obviously, like in the meta we're in currently, it's just so heavily determined by your DPS players playing out of their minds. Between the Sojourn and Tracer, we've seen time and time again lately, two of the strongest picks you could possibly pull out in Overwatch 2 currently, and we see right there why. Just the one-shot potential so essential there. Earlier, we did see Happy try to pop the overclock for the retake, which does net them a lot more percentage here, but 32 is still not that much in the face of possibly this last fight, given the Timeless have recruit 80% and counting. Hawk now coming in, though, with the Terra Surge. Not in a great position to use it currently. We might have to bum rush point anyways.
I mean, you're in the last fight territory here for M80, and Timeless has three ults ready to go, and still nothing yet, just holding their breath, looking for it, and there we go. Hawk in with the engage. Gonna try and use this Terra Surge. Rocket fights Pelican, though. Timeless already on the higher ground here, literally and figuratively. Looking for another pick here as tons of ults come in. Hawk with the Terra Surge. Pelican does have a pulse bomb ready. It's not gonna matter if Rocket finds Hawk. Rocket has just been a menace in the back line. Looking for another pick here to lock it down. 99 to 43%. Timeless in the lead. Still going to find some ways to tap points. I'm not sure M80 is going to find it here. Another overtime contest, but it's going to be, again, just trying to get some sort of last-second advantage. They do have this pulse bomb ready. You're going to look for that potential throw-in. They throw it in, does not get anyone. Rocket does fall this could be it. M80 might have found the difference, and Liar throws in a great sound barrier. They do lose their Kiriko, but Riker falling. I mean, that could be it. M80 might have made the magic happen. They did find it.
Yeah, and it really boils down to that pick on Rocket. Rocket absolutely playing out of their mind, both marking Pelican, especially earlier where you saw Hawk just kind of posturing, waiting for UV to get that last bit of charge on the rush so they could go in. Rocket recognizes this, knows Pelican's probably on a flank, goes out and takes out the Tracer there. This time, though, they're able to take out Rocket, snowball it back the other way. But M80 not looking too hot for ults here. So both Sojourns will have their ultimates, but Opener will have the beat to match.
That's going to be huge. A beat comes in. Now Timeless have to take advantage with it, and they do. Chopper finds Hawk. No tank on the side of M80 here. You're going to have to walk in. Ultraviolet knows this, trying to get back to point to stay alive and pump in some more healing as Chopper throws in the damage and an ultimate. There we go. No DPS for M80. I don't think there's going to be a point for M80 either. There we go. First round goes to Timeless. Well done.
Yeah, and that was super, super close still. It did feel like Timeless in the driver's seat for the most part, but M80 absolutely not going down without a fight there. Chopper in the end, I mean, that overclock is super clean, but at that point, I think Timeless already in a great spot, and it really comes down to Opener having the beat ready for the overclock of Happy. Or on the other side, I mean, I think Liar was only at 19%, having used the beat in the fight prior. So now M80, I mean, on this point here on City Center, completely switching up their comp here. We've got as anti-tracer, DPS, and tank lineup as you could possibly hope for. UV on BAP as well, which I feel like is a bit of a comfort pick for UV. We've seen that come out a lot. Timeless, though, completely sticking to their guns. They've pulled out a Winston, but otherwise not too much has changed on their side.
Yeah, and like honestly, all these fights have been pretty even, it feels like. Consistently, they've been, you know, here and there, back and forth, looking for one mistake to capitalize, as, you know, we kind of see a lot. But it feels like Timeless has been way more consistent with the damage picks, and we'll have to see if M80 can turn this around as they start dancing on this point here. Already, Winston under a little bit of fire, jumping around, trying to, again, avoid this as Hawk looking for some way to get in this back line. Up a little bit of damage. What do you think of these comps as we get into this here, Blink?
Yeah, you see the difference philosophies a little bit here too, right? Where Timeless, I think the Winston comp is a little bit better here if they're just able to space out these DPS picks. But like right now, here we're seeing the power of the Diva. You can just get into the Winston's face, deny him space. There's like a real knife's edge here that these two tanks have to play on. So far, M80 coming out on top, though, by the looks of it.
Yeah, they are going to continue to try and stay alive. There's Chopper falls, actually. Yeah, Pelican, a great job finding that pick, and it's going to be M80 more than likely eking out a victory here on this first half. Not yet, though, and yet, well, actually saying not yet, they do starting to climb up here as Hawk chasing down some last-second picks here, trying to get some staggers. I think it's D-Mech here, a great, immortality field by Ultraviolet. Doesn't matter, though, as they do fall. Timeless, though, we're able to get a pick here and actually turn around Rocket. Once again, just finding some picks in the backline. An incredible DPS, able to find some magic. And honestly, I thought M80 had it, but never mind.
Yeah, definitely. And so much of this comp hinges around Hawk being up and just having that defense matrix up. You see, as soon as Hawk goes down, everyone on Timeless is essentially like unlocked, right? M80 are just sitting ducks waiting to be torn apart. So this is what I mean by Timeless. This comp needs to take a little bit more time to stage into the various ranged threats between the Cassidy and the turret and all that. But as soon as they're able to, I think this Winston comp is favored. This is why we see this so commonly in the Korean region as well on control maps. Timeless in the driver's seat with nearly every ultimate almost online.
Yes, M80 is going to be very aware of what they're about to run into here as Diva tried to kind of make something happen here, trying to force the monkey off the high ground, forced to actually back up themselves. And now, here we go, M80 looking for a way to force something out here. Timeless, again, like we mentioned, has every single ult up. M80 a little bit behind that as Hawk tries to push in here. A Liar forced to use sound barrier as Timeless already has Opener thrown in, and now a Monkey throwing in a little bit of rage too, jumping around the backline, trying to find something. Liar falling half health, almost falling on M80, staying alive somehow, and now pushing in here. Chopper using their Sojourn ult. Two picks come in as they fall. Hawk chasing down, finding it. Man, M80 fell so low, able to stay alive. Ultraviolet and Liar pumping in the healing. Ultraviolet so low, great immortality field, staying alive as the fight continues on point. Timeless is continuing to get this up 75% as Pelican finds two. M80 needs to flip this now, and they do manage to do that almost 80% to 15 now for M80. You know, shades of last round, right? They gotta keep this lead.
Absolutely. And I mean, through metas, through different games between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, it still stays an immutable truth that City Center is so difficult to take back, especially in the face of an extremely mobile comp that can stall basically forever. But they've taken it back, and Timeless have basically nothing in the ult bank currently, whereas M80 didn't actually have to use that much here. UV also coming up to another window. This looks like a fight win already in the books for M80.
Yeah, a great dive there. Pelican throwing in a few lobs of lava, I think, the projectiles, or nails, something. They did the damage, and it matters. So M80 now 50% up, got another fight win, and it's looking good for M80 right now.
Yeah, M80 very much just happy to sit here on point. They do pop out the Deadeye here, but I mean, don't even need to get that.
Wow. I don't even know how they found CJ. Hawk has been so aggressive here, chasing down the DPS and healers. But speaking of healers getting chased down, Liar falls to the monkey. M80 now forced to walk back to point to stay alive, and it seems like we're on last fight territory potentially for M80. If they close this out, that could be it. Monkey coming in here, has the rage as well.
Also, I mean, it's 2 fights where Timeless just weren't even able to set up, but now they have been, though. Pulse Bomb is out, and so is this Monkey ult.
Throwing in a great immortality field doesn't matter, as Monkey said, hey, if you're not in the field and it's broken, I'm just going to throw you into a car instead. Now here, Timeless on the point is so close to capping point here, 91%, as Pelican throws in a potential. I mean, I think actually blocked that sound barrier from Liar there, but a lot of ults coming in from 80. It might actually matter here. 99%. They weren't able to cap it. Timeless. They did actually, okay, they managed to get that last percent. Here's M80. Just, I mean, they have 99%. They need to recap it one last time. 84% for Timeless. Hawk is back in the mech here, trying to chase down this back line. I mean, and as well, like, kind of with that rocket, going around the back line, trying to get the opposite here. Finding Pelican, that's going to be terrible for M80. This could be terrible for Timeless. Hamster has gone back to the point instead of the monkey, trying to stay alive. Deadeye is ready for M80. If they can burn some people down, maybe able to stay alive. And Chopper, a great ult, finds the Cassie for M80. This is terrible for M80. Timeless finding the magic here. Opener finding Hawk as well. Recapping 95 to 99. Timeless. Rocket finding Liar. This is going to be it. It looks like a point for Timeless. They're not able to touch M80. They contest for a second, but I think it's just going to be dreams here. Hopes and dreams in the point for M80. First point as time dwindles. Should be going towards Timeless here, Blake.
Yeah, it looks like it. Hawk back on the Doomfist trying to stall this out desperately. I mean, someone's still keeping the point alive. It looks like it's Happy swap to the Tracer. Pelican also on the Soldier. But it seems they're delaying the inevitable, barring a miracle here. The ball pick really working out for Riker's Rocket. Oof, with a little bit of a stick on the opposing Tracers. Timeless will take map 1.
I mean, that's just been what was consistently happening, right? Rocket was finding those picks. And M80, you know, again, they did a good job, you know, trying to stop Rocket from being in the backline, but even the Torb wasn't enough.
No, it really wasn't. And I mean, Chopper did an incredible job both these points here, especially because on that last point, possibly the most crucial pick you want to get in that sort of 99-99 scenario is the pick on the Cowboy. Happy could do so much damage in that situation with Timeless running back to point. You have a Cassidy just sitting in the back playing Kovacs, and especially a Cassidy with the level of Happy, you're not coming out of that round alive most likely, but Chopper opens up the fight with the pick on the Cassidy and everything is chaos. Rocket able to clean it up from there on. Such clean, consistent Tracer play is Timeless. I mean, it was very close, very back and forth overall, but when it mattered most, Timeless consistently showed up.
Absolutely. And I kind of go back to what I was talking about at the very beginning of the fight, where, again, both teams, it felt even. And even you were seeing that between the two, maps, right? It came down to, 80 to 80, just finding that one mistake to capitalize and just find that last 1% to eventually win it. But it felt like Timeless was more consistent. It felt a lot more like M80 were a little bit more streaky. They did clutch out a few times. Obviously, they got, that second point pretty high. But when it came to finding the picks, I don't know, Blake. It just felt like Timeless had a lot more just consistency with that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the thing about playing this sort of dive setup, especially in map 2 here too, is right, like you're going to set the tempo of a lot of the fights as long as you're able to properly stage. Timeless's comp is basically set up to deny space, to deny them from even being able to do that, and that's how they were able to accrue nearly 80-some%. You saw that you had like Riker on the Winston trying to even just get in past the choke. Boom, Hawk's in your face. There's a turret on an off angle. Tons of damage coming in from another angle. Like, how do you even get started? But as soon as they were able to break through that, as soon as I think they were able to isolate Ultraviolet on the side, with a pulse bomb, Primal Rage comes out as well. After that, it was basically, haymakers thrown both ways. But at that point, M80 are kind of having to play Timeless's game a little.
Yeah,
right?
especially
given the comp they're running.
like you mentioned, yeah, Ultraviolet. I mean, that last little fight with the monkey using a primal, that pulse bomb. I felt bad for him. He only had one immortality field. Unfortunately, he left the other one at home because it was not easy. But we do have Hollywood coming up, a fun one. A classic, I'd say. I still have fond memories. 2016, sitting in front of my. I didn't have a computer monitor when I first got my gaming PC, so I plugged into my the TV on the living room floor. I still remember playing Hollywood. Man, oh, the nostalgia.
I love that. I love that. What is Hollywood for, if not for the big screen? You know.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was like a Vizio. Yeah. It was not a big screen. It was a screen. Let's put it that way. But I mean, that's a big screen. It's a nice looking camera.
Yeah, sure is. I mean, not as nice as the cameras our incredible prod crew currently have. I mean, they've been catching every little bit of the action we've had so far. But it's a pretty good camera, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, there's no OBS team behind that camera. So I mean, how good can it possibly be?
Yeah, honestly, like pick it up, Hollywood. But what we do also see on the screen here are first a sub here from Timeless. Looks like Sunjin is here in place of Chopper. But on the other side, on M80, looks like they're sticking to their guns, and Hawk is now pulling out the Sigma, possibly one of his best picks, definitely a very storied off-tank player, and the player in Overwatch 2. Sunjin goes for an early Widow Dink, but does not come up with much hit marker.
Yeah, you know, a nice little ding, a nice little dink to hear, a little satisfying, a little dopamine hit for you to get excited. Sigma here for M80. They're looking to bunker down as Riker punt goes in, jumping around, throwing a bubble. Popping into a cleave damage gets immediately. I mean, where do you go? Liar sends it back to spawn. And yeah, this comp is going to be a little bit hard to dive into, right, Blank? I mean, this is going to be like, you got to get lucky. I mean,
yeah, like hard to dive into is a bit of an overstatement. Like this is one of the purest of the come at me bro comps, right? Like, I mean, you have Hawk on the leading the fold, and Hawk and Gator and co. Architects are some of the most ridiculous bunker comps we've seen in Overwatch. So not a surprise to see it pulled out here, as they're going to stay on this high ground and ask Timeless to come to them, which is exactly what they're doing. They're coming around the backside here instead. Riker taking the high ground. And what is the Tracer going to do here? How does the Winston link up with the Tracer is the question.
Yeah, I like this angle of attack. Oh man, almost falls though. Forced to go back. Riker able to get some healing, staying alive, but unfortunately it doesn't get some more time off the clock. There's now 2.5, almost 2.5 minutes here for Timeless's attack. Another jump in from the monkey, just throwing a rock, and now forced back again, 67%, maybe just trying to get some potential anger management here going, trying to get some ult, but again, another fight win for M80, and now a Baptiste ult, and that's going to win. Sojin gets thrown down, thrown back to spawn, and now this monkey in the backline doesn't matter. It seems like M80 kind of got this locked down right now.
It looks like Timeless have basically one plan they're working towards here, and that's have Riker jump on the point, farm Kitsune Rush, and that's our one ticket here. And frankly, given that half the time bank is already gone, that plan better work out for them. It's not looking good so far. M80 have a ton of ults of their own. This is the big fight, though, where I think Timeless are going to invest.
Oh, that's going to be huge already. Ooh, of course, Ultraviolet's there. Of course, he's got a great job on both supports, negating these pulse bombs. Great job. And now Sojin has a ult out here, thrown in as well. A great sound barrier for M80. Ult's coming in back and forth, but finally, McCasty on the side of the defense finds the pick there, and that might be it to stop the fight. Another pick opener sent back to spawn, and this Cassie is just trying to avoid something here. Here it go, try to get him, and now another pick. Riker sent back to spawn. This cowboy has it out for the other team. Oh man, Pelican helping out too. M80, they did get 2 picks, or 2 ticks rather, on the point, but still a successful defense, I'd say.
Yeah, I think their initial push was even a little bit more successful than they've hoped, and the Kitsune Rush came out a little bit later, but still M80 able to stagger out, stay alive here. They used ultimates of their own, but they did not use Hawks, which, speaking of the devil, but opener will have the beat to match.
Oh, I mean, okay, thrown up there, and a great sound barrier for Timeless. Opener's been so clutch here, getting those in, and now trying to get some more damage, trying to get a pick here. Pelican 1 health, falls, does that pulse bomb, doesn't get the chance. This could be the chance. And there, I mean, Iker falls though. It's gonna be very tough. Rocket find a pulse bomb, the opener as well. Timeless able to find the magic and gets the picks there, and the point moving. Streets phase starts on Hollywood. 3 minutes on the clock for Timeless as they find the last few people. Send them back to spawn.
Definitely something they're kind of brushing their brows aside, or brushing the sweat aside.
Yeah, a little
or,
bit.
I mean, like, it was a bit tough. It was an overtime scenario, but it definitely did not come easy. Opener did die just shy of the beat in the fight previous, but it ended up being hugely clutch here as Hawk's Sigma ult was basically the only thing they had. Gravitic Flux gets basically nothing, and now Hawk on the Diva makes sense given the high ground here. And now I think it's going to be similar to the game plan they had on Oasis second, where they just want to deny the Winston from just being able to set up and be where he wants to be. Pelican on the Tracer here also. Pulse Bomb locked and loaded could be deadly.
I mean, just knowing Pelicans in your backline with a Pulse Bomb with potentially your name on it, that's enough for any backline to, just be a little bit worried, looking over the back shoulder here. Pelican looking for some way to get in, forced a recall as the point continues to move here. Pelican just wants something here. He's just looking for some way to get in, and everyone in that saloon is going to be a great opportunity potentially as Hawk trying to potentially keep them in there. And now Timeless pushing back out, trying to retake this again. Now Rocket finds Pelican, wasn't able to find any opportunity. They was kind of salivating, looking at the refrigerator here, but unfortunately no success. And now Timeless more distance on the car.
I really like that from Timeless. You go into cover there, recover cooldowns, and then just bum rush Pelican completely. You see that Tracer kind of lurking. Just go at him. And now Sunjum pops it off to the bomb is huge.
I saw that Rocket just a fade away, finds the pick and also the mortality field. So now M80 naked on the point here, trying to get this Diva. Hawk able to remet. That could be huge, but it doesn't be huge enough. 2 picks for Timeless, and now M80 definitely on the back foot as Liar saying, hey, maybe I can be the difference maker, but it's not going to be enough. Bum rushed here. Now Cassie trying to stay alive, not going to be enough, I don't think, Blank. And yeah, Timeless finding the second point.
Yeah, with a bang there, Hawk's self-destruct gets basically nothing, and now I think it's starting to look a bit rougher and rougher for M80. 2 minutes and 30 seconds here for Timeless. Not the biggest time bank in the world, but still gives them a decent bit of wiggle room coming into this. They also have the Kitsune Rush, which, I mean, in this sort of narrow space with the comp that they have, could potentially just be a free fight win if things work out for them. Riker now switching over to the Orisa as well, sees Hawk switching to that pick. I mean, makes sense here for Hollywood third as this fight kicks off.
No, absolutely. I mean, you've got these long sight lines. Might as well throw a few javelins down there too, right? You know, Olympics coming up. Might as well get your practice in. And now Pelican desperately trying to, again, find a pulse bomb. This has been like 2 fights he's not been able to use, and now a push in from Timeless. They are going to push back now. Here we go in the face of that dead eye. Not much you can really do. Pelican, I mean, you just can't do anything. Timeless has been so good at reacting to this Tracer that, I mean, what are you going to do? And now CJ has this Sojourn ult, or Kiriko ult, excuse me. He's ready to throw it in. They're just going to keep pushing it in, Blank. I mean, there's not much they can do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for that to be popped here. It looks like they might be looking for some kind of advantage, maybe getting like Pelican a little bit off center here. But there it goes, finally going all the way in, and Rocket recalls.
Pelican again is dead, still has the bomb. 2 picks coming in for Timeless, and they are just rocking this payload. They have the pedal to the metal, like a minute 9.
What? They just completely roll it in. Like, I'm speechless.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was. So, I mean, again, I'll let you break it down more fully, but from my point of view, it was just Timeless kind of pushed in. M80 weren't really able to like do anything because Timeless were reacting so well. They just like made momentum for themselves. That was crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, right? You expect a team like Timeless to keep their foot on the gas, and that's where you find mistakes to punish. But Timeless kind of like, you know, knowing exactly when to back up a little bit. I think I was expecting them to pop the rush early. I think M80 were expecting them to pop the rush early. What happens instead is you see, especially from CJ or Rocket's perspective, they're constantly not letting Pelican play the game that he wants to play, right? Even that fight, I think it started off with a dink on Pelican. Rocket chases them down. We caught that on camera thanks to Prod here. Like, they don't want that Tracer to be able to stage. And I mean, you said it, he didn't get to use that pulse bomb for like 3 fights. So as soon as they get Pelican down, it rushes out.
It did turn into 3 fights, actually. Like, as you say, I think it was 3 fights because it was at least 2 because the last fight, too. Like, I mean, obviously it's Pelican, right? Like,
right.
But like, is this them focusing the right DPS? Like, what do you think this is from the standpoint of Pelican not being able to do anything?
I think what it boils down to is like the role of the Tracer in this sort of comp in this meta we have. It's very fluid, right? Like your Tracer is either initiator, your Tracer's peeling, your Tracer's almost kind of being like a secondary tank sometimes, just like kind of pulling in, soaking in some cooldowns, not in terms of their health pool, but just in terms of what they're able to do. And I think whatever Pelican is starting to do moment to moment, like either Rocket or someone else is just marking them. And it's just throwing M80 off a little bit. Now they've got Pelican on the Torbjorn instead, not trying to mirror the Tracer anymore. And an attack Torbjorn's a bit of an interesting pick, but Hawk's already got high ground, so let's see how this goes.
Yeah, at this point, it just seems like they're reacting, and they're just trying to find something that sticks. Throwing some spaghetti at the wall, and praying Chef Boyardee on their side as Seonjin finds a pick on Pelican. That's going to be a rough start. So good on Timeless there for the defense. Yeah, they just got to wait for them to get back here. Oh, Pelican swaps to Genji.
I quite like this. I think this is a much better pick into what's going on. And Pelican is an extremely terrifying Genji to be playing against. Looks like Hawk might be switching as well. Maybe to the Orisa here, possibly. No, back to the Sigma, it seems. As Happy now goes over as well to the Sojourn. So a bit of a similar look to what they were running on defense here. Looks like, I think they might try to take the high ground once more or go to the wraparound. No, it looks like they might be going straight for it.
I mean, I like this. You know, give everyone like a point to kind of play around, and then just try and get some stuff going on the back line. You know, get the Rocket some love here. You know, in terms of damage and bullets. Try and stop him. But as they walk in here, Hawk being very aggressive already with Sigma. Like I said, this is a very good swap here, giving them something to push in around. Here we go. His kinetic grasp got out. Some shields added to his health bar. A rock thrown in. Doesn't get much of anything here. And now, I mean, M80 just sitting on the point, almost at 2 ticks. They're forcing Timeless to play this game at their speed, which I really, really like here. 2 ticks now for M80, another kinetic grasp here. And now, here we go, Kiriko ult thrown in. They're going to try and go and teleport, trying to get some cool new areas to pump more damage in and health in. And Hawk finds Rocket. That's not going to do it. But Sojourn, though, finds, hey, a pick on the supports and a Sojourn pick. That's going to be terrible for the defense. But Pelican says, hey, I'm going to make it even worse for you. Here we have 2 picks here. Pelican being the difference maker, making it happen with no one looking at him. I mean, what can he even do? Forcing down this diva. I mean, Blink, it's looking a little bit better here for the attackers. Ooh.
So it seems, having said that, though, that pulse on, the pulse on Hawk is you, but they still got 2 picks out of that.
Okay, yeah, they wanted Blink. Okay, I got real worried.
Yeah, you and me both. But no, I love how Hawk played that, because I kind of expected maybe with the Sigma going far back around, forcing Timeless back a little bit. Instead, Hawk kind of plays that the way you think of like Overwatch 1 Rind, where you're just forcing the point. Like you just saw Hawk stand there, just go, this is free real estate. What are you going to do about it? And Timeless were also like, yeah, what were we going to do about it? So instead they back up, they play for the rush a little bit. They try to look for picks around the side. Pelican actually ends up coming back on the Tracer anyways. But in that time, Hawk basically gets 2 points almost for free. And now is taking the high ground here. Might get this diva demeched.
Oh, Ultraviolet found by Rocket. That's going to be tough for M80 to really attack with. And now I think they're going to have to reset. Yep, Hawk is going to get pushed back. And now Timeless finding some high ground. Yeah, this is a good spot to be in. Not much you can really do except wait for M80 to come back. 3 minutes left on the clock here as Pelican gets dinked.
Yeah, which is more time, I believe, than Timeless had, I think, when their first point opened. But still, I mean, not looking super good here for Timeless as far as the ult bank goes here. M80 on the other head side almost have everything locked and loaded. Liar died early last fight as well, but still has the beat ready to go too. I'm looking to possibly Happy to make a play here with this overclock, excuse me, but unclear how to set up in the face of this diva.
Yeah, Happy does need to make someone sad, I would say. And now we'll see. I mean, right now, Timeless has to get pushed. Find some new angles to defend from here as the Pelican's been pushing the cart a bit, doing a good job being a nuisance. I mean, honestly, even pulling just a tank back to recontest is huge. And now they're roughly through Streets phase. Another fight's gonna come in. Hawk drops down here, and here we go. Happy using the overclock, and now a great beat coming from Opener. Like I said, been doing a great job with those, being very clutch. Fire matches there, and a pulse bomb comes in, doesn't get anything. Rocket doesn't find anyone with that pulse bomb, unfortunately, as now Happy falls to Sejuan. That's gonna be huge, and now Opener finds Ultraviolet. I mean, this is just looking better and better for the defense. Timeless been doing so good here. Hawk hanging on by a thread. The kinetic grasp does not get anyone. Pelican trying to find a way out, 29 HP and a Dream 25-0. Unfortunately, Pulse Bomb's still ready. Holding it for next fight. A minute and a half here. for M80's tech.
And it looks like the game plan's fallen apart a little bit for M80 here. I mean, it seemed that baiting out the beat and then going for the gravitic flux all looked, dandy on paper, but I don't think Hawk is able to really get anybody off of that. Also, Lyre uses the beat, and Sunjin didn't end up using the overclock, just got to pick in the neutral anyways, but they just seem a little bit lost. They've just kind of been tickling this card forward, trying to take high ground, getting pushed off repeatedly, and now there's only a minute left. As you called it, CJ still hasn't even needed to use this Kitsune Rush. May use it on the low ground if they have to cede a little bit more space here. But Riker's in your backline, and this card is stationary.
Oh god, Riker's your backline. The scariest thing I think anyone's ever said on this broadcast is Hawk finds business end of the blasters as well. Now Sunjin throwing in, making happy dance here. Unfortunately, I mean, did find opener, but unfortunately Sojourn sent back to spawn, and most people on M80 unfortunately went back to spawn as Riker finds Pelican as well. This is last fight territory with 40 seconds left for this attack for M80.
I mean, and it's gone from bad to worse to M80 here. They have to do a bunch of swaps, reset their ult economy a little bit. Now going for a classic Ana Winston dive here. Hawk having pulled out the Winston a little bit before in Overwatch League and such, despite mostly being an off-tank player. But this is a throw the kitchen sink kind of play, and you have to do this. There's only 20 seconds left to do something, to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see if Peter Rabbit makes his appearance as Hawk looks for a way to jump in, and now D.Va a little bit of damage, and now poop back. Hawk unable to get any sort of damage done on the high ground.
Oh,
as the D.Va gets, I mean, honestly, Rocket in the midst of all that gets the pulse bomb on Sojourn. Now Pelican falls as well. This is not looking good for Timeless, and now, or for M80, excuse me, Timeless finding the picks consistently, forcing out a beat, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough as Riker finds Hawk, sent back to spawn. Lyre with a beat as well, does not get it off, falls. This is going to be it here as Timeless able to find a lot of consistency, I'd say, with their game plan as they sit on point. 2-0 in the series for Timeless.
Yeah, a fairly back and forth Oasis that still ends up being a 2-0 for Timeless, I believe, and then a pretty dominant Hollywood, if you ask me. It's, yeah, you called it. I think this was from the first point, potentially, the first point attack on the side of M80, where things were looking pretty good for them. Oh no, this was on the defense, but still, Hawk Sigma pick looking very good on the attack at the end there until it just didn't, right? As soon as first point unlocked and they were in Streets phase, M80 went from just having their foot on the gas pedal, completely in control, to just kind of being lost, just kind of waffling, look up at the sky a little bit going, hey, I guess we should get those people off of high ground. Oh no, we've been booped off again. Hey, I guess we should get Pelican to push card a little bit. Just a little disorganized, a little scrappy, and Timeless just eating that up, just completely punishing it over and over.
Yeah, I think honestly it came down to like M80. They found a winning combination on that first point. And it worked really well, but it felt like they just kind of were like, all right, this worked, and it didn't work for a while. So let's keep this the Hawk pick on Sigma, which it was a great pick for when they needed it. But once they're at the point where everyone was on high ground, jumping around, they had, Riker just again in your back line, which is just horrifying. That's where maybe swapping to a more mobile tank, maybe the D.Va again would have worked a bit better than the Sigma, but. It's always tough to kind of look back, versus in the moment.
Hindsight,
right?
2020.
But still, I would say, again, just to kind of put a pin in it, Timeless just felt more consistent than M80 in every kind of fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just really good stuff from the DPS lineup in particular. Obviously, like I've said this before, but we're in a meta where your DPS really need to shine. More than anyone else, between the passive, between just the general strength of picks like Tracer and Cassidy and such, and then Sojourn, of course, Evergreen throughout Overwatch too. And I mean, Timeless the DPS players, like we're seeing Rocket on the screen here, just playing like Rocket is experiencing the game in 4D. Rocket sees things that no mortal can see. Just like
sees time itself unfold
forwards, backwards, and all at once.
Fitting for a Tracer player, I'd say. I mean,
yeah.
And honestly, and this was where I almost cast a cursed Hawk. I got real scared. That was a great.
God, yeah.
Again, like Rocket was just everywhere they needed to be consistently. When they needed to be, they had the bomb, and it just happened consistently every time they had it.
And to bring it to a player like Pelican, like the pedigree of Pelican, and to make him on Tracer look like someone who might end up in a Automaton video with the dude going, bro is not built for this. Like, Pelican looked rough at the end of Hollywood there, and that is not Pelican form as we expected. This is a guy who was just in an OWL Grand Final a few months ago. So for Rocket to mirror this player on Tracer and come out on top, I think bodes really well for Timeless's chances moving forward. As I think now they've leapfrogged them in the Switch stage to second Don't quote me on that just yet, but these two teams were at the top, I believe, of the NA Swiss bracket, and I mean, I think they're both punching their ticket to the next round, but in either case, Timeless with a very dominant kind of a statement showing here against another top team.
And again, just to jump, it is important to remember, like, these are like the two top teams of the tournament. Like, regardless, I mean, one of these teams had what was that?
And Defiant.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Again, like, okay, top 3, top 4 teams. These are in the conversation, right? But like, one of these teams had to end up losing. So them losing to Timeless does not mean M80 at all is not still some sort of threat for the rest of this tournament. In fact, I'd be even willing to bet that coming out of this, M80 is going to be more consistent, able to kind of look back and say, oh man, you know, this just didn't work out. Pelican maybe not able to kind of, you know, match with Timeless here. How do we go from this? So I would be willing to bet coming from this, M80 is going to become even stronger and scarier.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, this is a team too. We mentioned at the beginning, they're integrating new players into the lineup, right? Yep. So definitely a bit of a process. You learn from every given loss. You're going to watch back that film. You're going to watch back that VOD and try to pick up what you could have done better. I think Pelican has been on this team, but Happy recently joined, if I'm not mistaken, as well as God, who is it in their backline? Sorry. Either way, they've had a bit of lineup changes happen, so definitely need some time to gel a little bit. And even despite that, they still wrap up this first Swiss stage with a record of 9-2. I think Defiant still at 10-0, whereas Timeless jumped to 10-1. So all of them will be moving forward, I believe, to stage 2 of the Swiss stage. And like you said, I think the best is still yet to come. M80's retool roster looks really, really good on paper overall. This is a team of players who have proven a lot and have shown a lot in the past, and I definitely won't put it past them to show that again.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you. You know, if you're still here watching, thank you. It's been a pleasure. Blank as well. It's been pleasure yapping with you on the mic.
Always a pleasure. Always good to be here.
But yeah, we are gonna be signing out. Thanks again. Thanks for BPL team, Solomon, Prod, OBS, the crew. Yeah. Until next time. We'll see you later.